Namaskara everyone. Welcome everyone to day 7 Kathotsava. I am Prabha Krishna and today I will be the storyteller. So let's all be centered first. Let's all be connected to ourselves so that we could listen to the stories of Shri Krishna Bhagavan. So close your eyes. Wherever you are seated, allow yourself to be seated straight. Feel your chest upright, your spine upright, your chest expanded, open. Your neck and shoulder muscles relaxed. And bring your awareness to the tip of the nostrils and observe the breath moving in and out. This breath is moving through the right and the left nostrils, enriching you. And as it exhales, let all the tensions, the stress in the mind and in the body level be released. As you inhale, you're nourished, enriched completely. And as you exhale, let go. Join your palms in Namaskara Mudra with reverence and devotion to Shri Krishna, Shri Narayana. Visualize a beautiful picture of Shri Bhagavan Krishna in front of your eyes. Look at all the features of Krishna. Look at him smiling at you, showering his grace on you. Look at him having the flute, the peacock feather on his crown, eyes absolutely filled with compassion, lips beautifully smiling and understanding you completely, accepting you, understanding you. Feel the radiance of Krishna as we chant Om 3 times. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu mavid vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Let's bow down. Pray for the divine grace of the Supreme Consciousness. Pray that let's all be nourished. As I am narrating, you are listening. We are all going to be immersed in the glories of Narayana today, the glories of Shri Krishna Bhagavan. And let devotion be sprouted within you when we hear all the deeds and actions of Bhagavan. Peace, peace, peace. Gently open your eyes. Namaste once more. I am Prabha Krishna and today again we are going to be hearing more stories of Shri Krishna Bhagavan. Very, very interesting stories. I think many of you wouldn't have heard these stories. So that's what I am going to be covering about. So just hold on. Let me start sharing the screen. Okay, thanks to all those who are coming on video mode. It's nice to have some audience for me. Okay, so who is this? As you all know, Shri Krishna in Gokula Vasa, right? Gokula Vasa Krishna here. And what is the season? You know, what is the season right now is Sharad Ritu, beautiful autumn season. So yesterday you heard so many stories of Shri Krishna. He, how he gave moksha to Muchukunda and then Jarasandha, Kalayavana, how they were nicely, deceived and had the strategist Krishna also you came to know. And now I'm going back, little bit flashback, and then I'll go forward also. So it will be a beautiful journey of Shri Krishna Bhagwan and other, the other stories of Shri Krishna. So this is the Sharad Ritu. The Sharad Ritu is after heavy rains. Just imagine after heavy rains, how the place will be, how the earth will feel. Suddenly all the mushiness, the swampiness of the earth is gone. The breeze is so beautiful and all the flowers are saying, yay, there is not heavy rains always, so they feel free to breathe more. Then the river is kind of coming back to normalcy, and all the trees, all the earth, everything, they're kind of having a breath of fresh air. So much of freshness is there. You could feel the smell of all the flowers which are all blooming in full bloom. And why are they? And Gokula is blooming more. All the animals are looking forward for more. Why? It is because Shri Krishna is there. When Shri Krishna is there, even all the animals, they look forward to, see him. They wait. The cows, even the calves, when they are feeding milk from the mother cow, they stop halfway. Half of the milk will be in their mouth itself. It might be dripping, but they'll be looking at Krishna. The birds, they all will be eager to come and sit next to Krishna. All the animals, the deers, all the wild animals, they will be saying, oh, Krishna has come, let us go and sit next to him. All the cows, even the deers, the peacocks, everything, even the river. Do you know the river is so eager to touch the feet of Krishna. So it creates small waves so that it goes and touches the feet of Krishna. Even the Govardhana mountain feels very, very proud. Why? Because Krishna is next to, he's walking on the mountain. Even the Mother Earth feels so happy that this Narayana, who has been born in this world, in this earth, as Sri Krishna is walking on her. So Mother Earth also used to be absolutely joyful and blissful that, oh, Krishna is walking on me. So everyone, and when Krishna takes his flute, can you imagine how the moment he takes his flute, everyone goes into a trance. So that was the way everyone used to feel. So the moment he used to take the flute, all of them, everyone feels so intoxicated. They all will surround Krishna, and the moment the flute touches the lips, it was magic. The sound of Krishna's flute, the music of Krishna's flute used to be just filled in the entire Gokulavasa, and everything used to go to a standstill because everyone would be just immersed in Krishna. That's all. It was such a wonderful time. Can you imagine I would say the Gokulavasas were so blessed and lucky to have Krishna among them, isn't it? Right? So imagine that all these Gokulavasas had this Sri Krishna who was a tiny boy who was walking around, jumping, doing all the naughty things, and then having this flute, blowing the flute, taking care of the cows, taking care of the cowherds, playing with the boys, and then stealing the butter, eating the butter, having a wonderful time, and all of them used to just enjoy looking at Sri Krishna. So that was the way Sri Krishna was the beloved of everyone in the Gokula. And this flute, the flute of Krishna used to be so proud. Now these gopikas, there were so many gopikas, there were so many women. It is said that there were about 88,000 gopikas in Gokulavasa. Some of you would say, Hare, Gokula is only a small village, how can there be 88,000? See, let us not go into all this historic way. When you are listening to the Leelas of Shri Bhagwan, when you are listening to the actions of Shri Bhagwan, don't go into all these logics there. Just get immersed. first. When Shri Krishna is there, if 88,000 are there or 1 lakh people are there, it must be true that Rukhmani has narrated all these things to Parikshit. And you know what? This Gopikas used to be so jealous of this flute. They used to say, hey flute, look how lucky you are. Krishna is, with his Madhura lips, he's touching you, he's breathing air into you. How lucky you are. And this flute, you said, hey, don't you know how much trouble I have taken? Don't you know who am I? I am only a bamboo. I am only a bamboo. I have come from a bamboo tree. I have faced the rain. I have faced harsh whole sun, the whole of the summer, the harsh rain, the torrent of rain. I have faced the entire rainy season, the coldness during the winter season. I have borne all these things, and somebody have cut a piece from me, and then they have sharpened me. They have pierced 7 holes. Can you imagine that much of pain I have gone through? And then is where I have become a flute, and then is where Krishna is taking that much of tapas I have done, so that Krishna, I am with Krishna. Have you done that much tapas? See, this is where it's a beautiful lesson for all of us, isn't it? The bamboo is telling us, the flute is telling us what kind of tapas, what kind of austerity we need to follow, that with absolute purity of the heart, if we are there to seek Lord, and the Lord Bhagavan would be there with us, would be there in each one of us, we would be able to see him. So all the Gopikas used to adore Krishna like anything. They will be working here, they will be doing their cooking, they will be working in the fields, they will be milking the cow, they will be doing all kinds of things. And the moment Krishna breathes air into the flute, creating music, it's like, the flute is actually an empty, hollow thing. Only when you breathe air into it, Krishna is breathing air into it, and the sound, the music comes, isn't it? That's how Krishna, we breathe, if we breathe Krishna, how it will be wonderful, isn't it? So all the Gopikas, they never thought of anything else. For them, they just wanted to see Krishna, their eyes wanted to see Krishna, their ears wanted to hear the anklets of Krishna, their feet wanted to touch wherever Krishna's feet used to go. So that was the way the Gopikas were so absorbed. Here is where we all need to understand the love of the Gopikas. So you should not be thinking it is some love affair and it is some romance and then Valentine's Day happened. No. The love of Gopikas has so much of learning for all of us, because they were absolutely absorbed, and it was a single pointed absorption in their mind. It is like, like Narada Bhakti Sutras, they say Ananya Prema, Parama Prema Rupa. It was such devotion, such absorption, that they never thought of anything. For them, they renounced everything. For them, their duties as a wife, their duties as a mother, their duties, everything. They never thought of even any Dharma, Shastra, nothing. For them, every breath, everything was Krishna. That's it. Absolute Krishna there. So such was the way they were so much absorbed. Even by just looking at him, time used to just pass away, and they would just be looking and gazing and be just absorbing in the divinity of Krishna. Such was the love of Krishna. And if you all remember, if you all have that love for Krishna, just imagine Krishna will be there always with us. And that is what Krishna is telling us in this Bhagawatha, isn't it? That absorb with me in your heart. Renounce everything. Don't have these likes and dislikes. Gopikas never say, I don't like cheese, I don't like this, I don't like this. Nothing for them. I don't like this saree, I will dress up this. They used to keep their hair open. They never used to dress up. They halfway dressed, they will all go run to Krishna. So that was the way. They never bothered about anything. They were so immersed. And such was the love. Even Parikshit used to ask, oh Shukamani, what is this love? Did they look at him as a lover? Shukamani said, no. If you are thinking as an ordinary man, you will be looking at this perspective only. This attitude is what you will be looking. But no, for Gopikas, these ignorant women, for them it was just Krishna in their life, in their heart. Absolutely, Krishna was there, one and only. And because of Krishna in their heart, their mind was absolutely purified. They had no negative thoughts. They had no this thing. They had no that thing. So many things were absolutely dissolved. And only imagine the Rupa of Krishna was there within them. And that was the way, Gopi Gita and all has I think about 9 to 10 verses verses of Gopi Gita is written in Bhagavatam. So that was the way Krishna was there, always in their heart. And every time, even, Krishna was always eager to be there with them, because he knew the purity in their heart. Such was the purity that he knew that nobody else has this purity, because they never had any greed, no jealousy, nothing. And sometimes, what used to do? Krishna will be there with them and suddenly he will disappear. And these Gopikas used to feel, oh Krishna, why are you doing this? By just a second of the separation, we are not able to bear it. And Krishna was just wanted to test them. He said, yes, I just want to test you. What will you do when I am separated? You know what? If I am separated, just think that I want your love to increase multifold, and that is why I am separated. I get separated from you. But if you keep thinking of me, I am always there. You are never alone. So this is a wonderful lesson for us. Anyone who feels that I am all alone in this world, I am left all alone. Why is this happening to me? Why is that happening to me? Why I am the only one who is suffering? When you all think like that, that means you have forgotten Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is there with you. Is there with you. When you think like that, are you alone? Think of that. Are you alone? So that was the way Krishna always used to be there with them. So even there is a beautiful, this itself will take so many chapters, but I don't want to take so much time. But I want you to all to understand the essence of rasa there. See, when you eat a mango, don't you feel the rasa? Don't you feel the juice of the mango? You like that, you enjoy, and that would give you a momentary happiness. And we are all doing things to give some happiness, isn't it, children? So you will be doing this, you will be doing that. You want to get a Lego and you get very happy. You see this, you get very happy. Your mother makes something fantastic, you make very happy. We adults also, if we get a new saree for Dashara, we get very happy. If somebody tells me that you are excellent, you are so beautiful, very, very happy. So all these are small rasas. And imagine that all these rasas, all these happiness things are joined together, they are combined together. The essence of all the happiness is rasa there. That rasa was in Krishna, and that was what Gopikas look forward. In the night, in the one Sharad Rutu night, they spent the entire night. It was like time was completely stopped, and only the sound of the flute was only heard by the Gopikas. Krishna made sure that none of the Vrindavan people, none of them could hear that. Only the Gopikas heard the sound, and they were all so intoxicated. They came and everyone wanted to be with Krishna. It was like Krishna was everywhere. Wherever you see, there were forms and manifestations of Krishna. Between one Gopi, there used to be a Krishna. Between two Gopis, there used to be a Krishna. It was like you could see that Krishna is like everywhere. So it is an understanding for all of us that it is like that Krishna is there in all of us. Absolutely. That reflection. If you are seeing something in the reflection, you are seeing the reflection, but think that also is you, this also is you. So Krishna is there, you are there. So it was like Krishna was manifesting himself in so many ways, in so many thoughts. Every thought there was Krishna. Without any thought there was Krishna. So Gopikas and the Krishna, the Rasa Leela was supposed to be so much in a trance that even now the rishis, when they talk about it, they go into a trance. Such was the bhakti of the Gopikas. And when it was time for Krishna to leave, you know who came? Akrura came yesterday, 2 days ago. Balanti told you about it. Akrura came and he said, yeah, it is time to go back to your uncle, to go to Mathura. And when that time happened, Krishna didn't visit the Gopikas. He only sat in the chariot. He was sitting on the chariot, but he was also a little sad. See this Krishna, the Narayana, who is free of absolute attachment, he also felt a tinge of sadness because he is leaving Vrindavan. And then all the Gopikas, they rushed to Krishna and they were all in tears. And Krishna said, I am there with you. I will come. I am there with you. And that's all he said. And all the Gopikas, they were so much in tears. You cannot imagine. But they decided that yes, Krishna will come one day and we will all continuously be thinking of Krishna. And that is how Akrura took them. Akrura took the Shiva, Balarama and Krishna. Slowly he took them to Mathura. During the way itself, Akrura also had a vision. He entered into the river to have a bath. And what he saw under the river? He saw Krishna and Balarama under the river. And then he came up and he see Krishna and Balarama outside the river. Again he goes inside the river and he sees the entire Ananta Narayana itself, absolutely Ananta Narayana sitting on Adishesha, and he saw the vision there. Imagine Akrura, the Akrura who has that blessing to see the vision of Narayana there itself. And he comes up, and then Krishna, when he comes up, Krishna has a mischievous smile. Hey, Uncle Akrura, why are you smiling? And then Akrura said, hey Krishna, you know everything. I'm so blessed that I'm able to touch the dust of your feet. You are Antaryami, you know everything. So come with me, Krishna, Balarama, come, let's go to Mathura. And you know what happened? So now I'm going to another place. Okay, now Krishna has killed Mathura. Now he has finished his Sandipini Gurukula, everything. Now he is a very fine young man. He is a absolute handsome, beautiful young man there. And who is longing for him? In a place called Vidarbha, the daughter of Bhishmaka, there was a very beautiful princess, Rukhmani. And this Rukhmani, she has heard from Narada about Krishna. She has heard about the Narada, how wonderfully he describes Krishna. How he is always thinking about Krishna and Narayana. And he has told Krishna is like this, Krishna is like that, Krishna did that, Krishna did this, Krishna did this. And Rukhmani was all immersed, and there was a secret, a desire to have him as her and only husband. And she had that desire, and she had 4 brothers, and the eldest brother was Rukhmi. And this Rukhmi was a friend of Jayadratha, Shishupala, Dantavakra, Shalva. Did they love Krishna? No. Jayadratha, Shishupala, Dantavakra, they're all hated. They all have that hatred towards Krishna. And Rukhmi didn't want Krishna, the cowherd, to marry his sister. So he told the Raja, he told his father, I want Shishupala to marry my sister. But the father was eagerly looking forward for Shri Krishna to be his son-in-law. But what to do? Rukhmi, the eldest son, was eager that his brother, friend Shishupala only should marry. So he didn't have any voice at all. But here Rukhmani, she was internally aching for Shri Krishna, and she didn't know what to do. Oh God, what will I do? I want you. See, imagine that many years ago, Dwapara Yuga, you say that you can send a message to Krishna, say that WhatsApp message, oh Krishna, come and take me. Can you do that? No, right? So imagine that Dwapara Yuga, this Rukhmani is sitting and aching for Krishna. She gets an idea. And she has there is some Brahmin man who comes always and sits with her and talks about all the scriptures. And she's so sad that Brahmin man comes and says, why are you so sad? And then she tells all this, that how she is aching for Krishna to be her Lord. And Brahmin man said, I will go to Krishna. I will go and tell him that I'll give you a message. Give me a message. And this Brahmin man takes the message of Rukhmani and goes all the way to Dwaraka. Okay, all the way to the Krishna's palace. Okay, and he's very surprised. All the way, he was thinking, will anybody allow him? He has to talk to the soldiers. He has to tell, I have to meet Krishna. Will anybody allow me to go to Krishna? But he found that the journey was super smooth, because he's going and seeking Krishna. Absolutely. So it will be a smooth journey. So within a fraction of a time, he has already reached the palace of Krishna. And he's already reached the palace of Krishna, and he goes and stands in front of Krishna. He is also stunned with the beauty of Krishna. He has also heard from Narada that Krishna is like this, and looking at Krishna, look at this Krishna here, and he was stunned, and he said, oh my God, look at him, look at his smile, look at his eyes, look at the feather, the peacock feather, look at the mala, and look at the way he's walking, the silk yellow beautiful dhoti adorning him, and he was itself completely absorbed. And then he said that I am come from Vidarbha city, and I have come with a message of the princess Rukhmani. And Krishna already knew, because he has already heard from Narada. See this Narada there, he has already heard from Narada about Rukhmani. So he said, yes, tell me, what is it? And the Brahmin says, first, he now gives a message of Rukhmani. Rukhmani says, "Oh Bhuvana Sundara." See, this is the first thing she says. Bhuvana Sundara, beauty of the entire universe. It can also say that he created this universe so beautifully. All the three worlds is as beautiful as him. So, oh Bhuvana Sundara, I have heard so much about you. I have really heard so much about you. With that, I have been always absorbed in you, and no other thing has completely even, distracted my mind, because my mind is completely absorbed in you, and I have always been thinking of you into so much that I have thought you only as my Lord. I cannot think of anyone else, and only you, and I want to fall at the feet of you, and I want you to please accept me as your wife, because I have only thoughts about you. Oh Krishna, come and take me. My brother is not allowing me. My father, brother, my entire family has arranged a marriage with Shishupala, but you please come. You please take me away from you, like a Rakshasa Vivaha. There are so many types of Vivaha. So Rakshasa Vivaha, you snatch me away from them, because I am eager to come and fall at your feet and be your consort. Oh Baba Krishna, oh Narayana, please, I won't be there with you. I will, whatever you want me to do, even if this Janma I cannot be your consort, then tell me. I am ready to fast unto death, and in the next Janma I will ensure that I will do more tapas, more austerity, so that you become my Lord. So please, oh Krishna, please become my Lord. And Krishna had a wonderful, beautiful smile in the face. And so one second, what happened? Sorry. So Krishna had a beautiful smile in the face, and he said that, oh Brahmin, I also want to see Rukhmani. I also want to wed her. I will ensure that. So this Brahmin said, Rukhmani told me that you don't even need to come to the palace to snatch her away. It seems just a day before her marriage, there is a custom in the family to go to the Devi Parvati temple to seek her blessings, and she would be coming there, and at that time you could take her away. So this is what she wants, O Bhagavan. And Shri Krishna smiles and said, if that is what Rukhmani wants, I am there. So the girl is wanting, even though the family is not wanting, the girl is saying she wants me, then what else? Come on, Daruka. Daruka is the charioteer. Immediately set up, come, let's go. And immediately Krishna is all set. Even Balarama is little worried, because he knows Shishupala, Jayadratha are there, so he gathers little bit of an army of Yadavas and he goes behind Krishna. And now this Brahmin is going, now he goes back to Vidarbha here, and Rukhmani has been waiting for this Brahmin. She's not understanding, and finally when she sees this Brahmin, she's so happy looking at the sight, and the Brahmin has a smile in the face. She's eagerly looking for that smile, and when she saw that smile, she was so relieved, and she runs after him. The Brahmin said, he said, everything, Krishna will come. That's it. That's all she had to hear. And she eagerly waits for Krishna. And she waits for Krishna, and who comes? Finally Krishna comes. King Bhishmaka itself is so thrilled. He goes there and then does all the upachara he has to do. Actually, he does in the same way as a son-in-law comes. That much because deep in his heart, he wanted his daughter to marry Krishna himself. And Rukhmani was so eager for that day where she's going to be stepping out. And finally the day came, and she, she's so beautiful, absolutely stunning and gorgeous looking Rukhmani. She steps out, and all the prince who had gathered there for the wedding, because Shishupala was already into laughter, thinking that this beautiful lady is going to be my wife. And Jayadratha, Shishupala, Rukhmani, everyone was stunned with the beauty of Rukhmani. And then she, with all the grace, she just walks slow and beautifully. She walks, and as she is walking, everyone are just looking at her, absolutely mesmerized and intoxicated. They are all walking. So for them it was like, it was like a scene there where so intoxicated. And there, who comes there? Krishna comes in his chariot, and Rukhmani sees there. She goes and pays her respects to Devi Parvati, and she comes out, and there she sees the chariot of Krishna. Krishna comes and immediately takes her into the chariot, and everyone, even by seeing Krishna, because the beauty of Rukhmani, the beauty of Krishna, everyone, for them it was like a scene. They're all stunned with that. So you're all frozen state. So they didn't know how to act. So they're all standing there, and with them standing there, Krishna beautifully puts Rukhmani on his chariot, and nicely, calmly, he takes her away with a nice, beautiful, mischievous smile. And after he goes, Rukmi, Jayadratha, Shishupala, everyone are shocked. Shishupala just faints. He is not able to take in that much shame that in front of him, Krishna, the cowherd, has taken away his would-be, his fiancé, right? Rukmi was so upset, and that's how Rukmi follows him. And a story where Krishna fights with Rukmi, and he sends him away because Rukmani says, oh, please spare my brother. And Jayadratha, everyone, all of them fight with Balarama. Anyone can come under Balarama, no chance. And they are also completely defeated. And that's how Rukmani becomes a wife of Krishna. And you know who is Rukhmani? Rukhmani is an incarnation of Shri Lakshmi itself. So Lakshmi is incarnation. Her incarnation is Rukhmani. And you know what is this said, that Brahman is actually, in his previous janma, it seems he was Valmiki, and then Valmiki was feeling so upset that he was not able to unite Rama and Sita, because Sita went off to Mother Earth. She decides to go to along with the Bhumi Devi. So Valmiki was very, very sad, and that time Narayana had promised him, in his next janma, I will make sure that you are the person, you are instrumental in uniting us. And that is how in this janma he plays an important role in uniting Lakshmi and Narayana together. And that is how Rukhmani and Krishna, they were married he took her as a Rakshasa Vivaha, and then he got her married as a as a Vedic Vivaha. Now we are moving on to the another story, and there was a man called Yadava, called Satyajit. Okay, so this is a very beautiful story. This Satyajit, he was a very, very big bhakta of Surya Narayana. Surya, okay. Surya Narayana, he was such a big bhakta of Surya that Surya was so pleased with him, and he gave him a gem, a jewel, a gem, Shamantakamani. So Shamantakamani gem, it just shines. The magnificence of that gem, the luminescence of the gem is so much that it just, the person who is wearing it would be looking like Surya itself, the Surya Bhagavan itself. And this Surya gave this to Satyajit. Satyajit wore that very proudly, and he started walking on the streets of Dwaraka, and he said, and everyone were looking, he said, oh, is Surya Bhagavan has come, Surya Bhagavan has come. And Krishna said, no, it is not Surya Bhagavan, it is Satyajit who has received the Shamantakamani of Surya Bhagavan. You know what, the Shamantakamani is, whoever has it gives gold 8 times a day. A huge amount of gold comes 8 times a day. And wherever the Shamantakamani is living, there is no famine, there is no drought, and there is no poverty at all, and there is no sickness, there is no calamity. Imagine that if the Shamantakamani is there, would Corona be there? So imagine that. So that is the beautiful auspiciousness of Shamantakamani. And immediately Krishna, what does he do? He goes, because Satyajit now has got this Shamantakamani, he goes and keeps it in his house every day. He's filled with more and more gold, and he gets, with this money, he was getting more and more arrogant. You know what wealth does? The money, the power of money. When the power of money comes, there is something else which is also becomes a friend, arrogance. And the arrogance becomes his friend. He completely forgets about everything. And that time Shri Krishna goes to Satyajit. He says, oh Satyajit, you know what? See, this gem, actually, if it is there in the palace, that means it will be beneficial for the entire kingdom. Why don't you give this jewel to the Raja, and he will keep it in the palace, so that the entire Dwaraka, entire place, entire humanity will be benefited, instead of you keeping it in your house for your whole house people. Satyajit said, why should I give Krishna? What are you telling me? Surya gave to me because I have done tapas to Surya. I have done this much, I did that much, and Surya gave to me. And you are telling me to give to the king just for free? No, no, no. I can't give. It will be with me. Can you imagine? The arrogance sometimes completely masks you. It's like a face mask. When Krishna himself comes and asks, at that time, Satyajit was so much into that power of this gem that he could not see what is good and what is bad. And that was what happened. And Satyajit said no. Krishna just smiled and he went back. Okay. Now Satyajit had a brother. He said, oh Bhaiya, please give me this jewel for one day na. I want to go for hunting. And this brother Prasenjit, he went for hunting, and unfortunately a lion came and killed him. And then what happened? The jewel was not seen. Prasenjit was dead, and Satyajit was absolutely crying. And what did he start saying to the entire world? He started saying, you know what, a few days ago, who came? Krishna came. He came and said he wanted me to give this gem to the Raja, and I said no. That is what, he only has killed my brother because he wanted the gem. The gem is also not to be seen. Look what he has done to my brother. And this is what Satyajit started saying, and by word of mouth it had reached every household of Dwarka. Everyone now pus. Can you imagine that? People who were singing the glories of Krishna, singing the leelas of Krishna, singing the actions of Krishna, now started thinking, do you think Krishna could be so lowly? Yeah? He, just for that gem, he's going and killing this Prasenjit. See how it goes, how the mind gets again clouded. And that is what, and Krishna heard about this, he felt very sad. For a second he felt sad, and he also wanted to clear this name that he is not a thief and he is not a murderer. So he, along with a set of friends, he goes there to the forest. He goes there and he finds that there are some path there. The horse is dead, Prasenjit is also dead, and nobody has bothered to investigate. They all have confirmed that Krishna has done it. Nobody has bothered. Now Krishna checks that there is a paw prints, paw prints of a lion, and he follows that paw prints and he goes little far away. In front of a cave, he sees that there is a dead body of a lion, and he sees some fighting has happened, and he understands that a bear and a lion has fought, and this lion is dead. Then he decides, he tells his friends, you please wait outside the cave, I will go inside. And then he goes inside, and what does he see? He saw a small bear and a mother bear, and the small bear playing with this Shamantakamani jewel. And he goes there and tells the child, give me. And immediately a roar happens. And who's this? What is there? A huge bear is standing. He said, how dare you? Who are you? And a huge fight happens between this bear and Krishna. You know who is this bear? Who is this bear, you know? Can you guess? And this bear is Jambavan. I hope you all remember Ramayana. Ramayana, who was assisting one of the most important bear there was Jambavan. From that yuga, this Jambavan is immortal and he's come to this yuga, Dwapara yuga, and he is there. And he has not known that this is Narayana. And there was such a huge fight. Both of them so strong. They had this fight for 28 days. 28 days. In some books I saw 18 days. Some books I saw 28 days. So I am just saying as 28 days. I will request you all to not go into these nitty-gritties. Think of the whole story as a whole. So this 28 days, finally, both Krishna and Jambavan were tired. And this Jambavan looked at this man and said, who are you? Only one person I know who's as skillful as you. And I'm seeing you. Who are you? And then Krishna said, who is this person you're talking about? Oh, you know, in one yuga, in Treta Yuga, there was one magnificent person. He's actually the incarnation of Narayana, Rama. He was so wonderful. And he killed the Rakshasa, Ravana himself. That was the way he was. Krishna said, that man, Arey, who that man who wept for his wife for so many years, and he roamed around in the forest with his wife and his brother, and you are telling about that man? No, 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 I am not so proud of him. I don't know why you are thinking so much about Rama. Na, na, na. So, and this Jambavan got very angry. How dare you talk about Rama like this? Don't you know who is Rama? Again a huge fight happens, but Krishna gives him one whack and Jambavan faints. And when he faints, after some time he wakes up, and then what does he see? He sees Rama, and then he said, "Oh Rama, you are here." And again he wipes his eyes and again looks in. There is Krishna. And then he said, "Arey, you thief, why are you here? I saw Rama there." And then again he said, "Rama, Rama, Rama." He goes behind Rama, and then again he says, "Rama, oh Rama, where did you go? I've been waiting for you. You promised me that you are going to come, and so I could see you. I've been waiting for you all these years." And suddenly Rama disappears, and then there is this young man who's a thief, who's standing right in front of him. "Hey, why you are here? Rama was here." So you are seeing Rama, this thief, Rama, this thief, Rama, this thief. Rama, this thief is what Krishna, right? And finally, he finds them blending together, and he sees Narayana himself, and absolutely he understands. And then Narayana said, "Oh Jambavan, I have taken birth in this Dwapara Yuga as Krishna because to establish Dharma and to kill all the sinful kings. There are so many sinful kings here, to establish Dharma and also to invoke that devotion to Bhagavan in everyone's hearts." So, and Jambavan was so happy. And then what did he do? He said, "I am giving you this jewel Shamantakamani, and I am also giving you my daughter Jambavati." And that is how Krishna marries Jambavati. Now he returns this jewel Shamantakamani back to Satyajit in front of everyone. He says, "Satyajit, here is it. I have given it to you. I want all the world to know that I am not a thief and a murderer." And Satyajit was so ashamed, absolutely ashamed he felt, and he decides that he will give another jewel of him. He has a beautiful daughter, Satyabama, and he decides that, oh Krishna, please take my daughter Satyabama as your wife. And Satyabama was actually supposed to be very, very beautiful, so graceful, and she was also like a warrior queen. You know, such was the grace of Satyabama. So many people had an eye on her to win her hand, and this Satyabama was given as marriage to Shri Krishna. And Satyabama and Krishna got married, and everyone, you know who's Satyabama? This Satyabama is actually the reincarnation of Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth. Mother Earth is born as Satyabama, and she was eager to have Krishna as her lord, and that is how Satyabama got married. And so Bhumi Devi was again absolutely absorbed with Krishna. So now the story goes where so many people were there eager for Satyabama's hand. So there were 3 people who were very much there. Kritavarma, there was one Yadava. You know, these people, you would have heard them in the Kaurava, in the Kurukshetra war, right? Where they all were there, isn't it? Kritavarma. Akrura, you know Akrura, who took Krishna and Balarama from Mathura. Then Shatadanva. So these 3 people had absolute, they've had an eye on Satyabama to be their wife. And when Satyajit did that, they were so angry. And so they told, "Oh Shatadanva, go and kill this Satyajit." How he has done. And this Satyajit goes in the middle of the night and kills this Shatadanva goes in the middle of the night and kills this Satyajit. And immediately he takes the jewel there and he runs off and comes back to Kritavarma. By that time, the killing of Satyajit, that is the father of Satyabama, Krishna and Balarama, they were in Hastinapur, because at that time, Pandavas, they heard that Pandavas were dead in the Varanavata palace, and they had gone there to share their condolences, and they heard that Satyabama's father was killed and murdered. They all rushed back, and everyone was stunned. And now Krishna was so much in rage. He knew who was this, and immediately Shatadanva got so scared. He ran to Kritavarma. He said, "Oh Kritavarma, Akrura, you please save me." Kritavarma said, "What are you telling me? You know who is that person? No chance." It seems he has even killed so many asuras. It seems he has killed Kamsa, Chanura and Mushtika just with his hands. And you're telling me to save me from him? No, no chance. See, this is how friends are there. All of them do together and do something bad. And immediately one person is getting caught. That person looks towards other friends. This other friend said, no, I was not there in this. No, I am innocent. And this is what has happened. That is why the press does choosing the friends are very, very important for us. Like yesterday I told you, isn't it? So what kind of friends you are having? So this Kritavarma nicely backed down. He said, backed up, na. And he went to Akrura. Akrura said, what are you telling me? I have seen the vision of Krishna. He is Narayana himself. The same Akrura was bent upon having Satyabama and he wanted to kill Satyajit. Now he said, no. I can't. I will be meditating on Narayana itself. I am sorry, I can't do anything. Shatadharma got so scared. He put that Shamantakamani jewel in his lap and he ran off. Krishna and Balarama ran after him and Krishna using his Sudarshana killed the Shatadharma. See, anyone who does mistake like this, who blames Narayana, who blames Krishna as a murderer, as a killer, as a thief, Krishna does not spare them. That's all. No sparing. And he comes back. By that time, Akrura gets this jewel, and you know what he does? He takes the jewel and he goes off. He doesn't be there. He doesn't go and give it to Krishna. He's so, I would say he's actually feeling so guilty and embarrassed and about his act. He didn't even want to face Krishna. He goes to Kashi. He stays there, and you know this jewel, 8 times a day it gives gold. That much gold, and he becomes Dhanapati. That is what he becomes. He becomes so much rich. But this Akrura is actually a wonderful person. He is filled with compassion and he does lot of dana there in the Kashi. But here in Dwaraka, everyone are having some ill omens. There is famine, there is drought. Everyone, they all look at Krishna. Even what? Even Balarama, they see Balarama and Satyabama also look at Krishna with doubt. Are you the person who killed Satyajit to get that jewel? See how everyone are in the maya of this wealth, you know, this wealth, how did it clouds us? And this Akrura there, he was already in Kashi, became a Dhanapati, doing lot of good deeds and action. He completely forgot about Krishna completely. And Krishna, even Balarama started doubting, Krishna, did you really kill Satyajit? Did you really take that jewel? Where is it? And Krishna really, finally he decides, this is really bad. Everyone are doubting me. And he calls Akrura. He calls Akrura back to the Sudharma hall. He calls and said, Akrura, I know that you have got the Shamantakamani. I know that you have got the gem and you are doing wonderful things with it. I do not have any complaints. You are doing lot of dana, you are doing lot of good deeds, you are doing actions there. But here, everyone here are blaming me. They are blaming me as a thief. They are blaming me as a murderer. I want you to tell them that you took the jewel and it is you who was one of the person who was behind it. I want you to clear my name. And Akrura felt so guilty, so ashamed. He couldn't even look at the face of Krishna. He immediately from his dhoti, he came and gave this Shamantakamani gel. Krishna said, you don't need to give me. Actually, after Satyajit goes, the jewel becomes a part of Satyabama. And from Satyabama, it has to be coming to this kingdom. But I am not even asking you the jewel. But I want you to say that you are the person who took. So that my name is cleared. But Akrura, he didn't want to, he was already ashamed of what he had done. He absolutely surrendered and gave the jewel. And that is what the story of Shamantakamani. And look how this jewel, how the power of wealth, how it clouds us. How it clouds us to such an extent that we forget Krishna, we forget what is right, what is wrong. Absolutely, the person who had honored, who had seen the vision of Krishna itself forgets. And that is how the effect of wealth. And now Krishna, he goes on to marry totally 8 queens. Kalindi, Mitravinda, Satya, Bhadra, Lakshmana, Satyabama, Rukhmani, Jambavati. They all, either Krishna, they all had decided like Rukhmani that he is their Lord and he goes them and captures them, or there is a competition and he goes and wins them. And that is how it's like he had Ashtabharya, that is 8 queens as his consort. So all of you do not think that, oh, 8 queens. So here we are talking about Narayana. It is like the eightfold Prakriti. So there is a beautiful concept itself told about that what these 8 queens come about. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, ego are the 8 ingredients. It's like the 8 Prakriti. It's like all these people are in the form of colors. Just imagine that there are so many colors there: white, red, yellow, blue, green, everything, right? And how can you see the colors? When you can see the colors only when you put it in a canvas, when you put it in a paper, right? And how can you put? Either using your finger or your brush only you can put, right? So that is how you could see that this canvas was Krishna himself. And we are all a combination of here, little bit of earth, little bit of fire, little bit of space, little bit, all these a combination right here and there. And that is how all of us have been created, with so many different types of combination of colors, different combinations of these things in us. And that is how, and they're all going into the canvas, right, with different, that's what you should think that and that brush, who is the manifestation of Prakriti, is they're supposed to say Yoga Maya, and that Yoga Maya is putting the colors in each canvas. The canvas is Krishna, and the colors, different colors, she is taking them, and that is how we have been created. So you, me, everyone are all having that consciousness, Krishna himself, isn't it? So we are all there, and that is what Ashtabharya is there. But there is one more story of Krishna where I take you to Naraka Surah. So this, did you understand it so beautifully, right? So let us not get carried away that, oh my God, Krishna had 8 wives. We are not able to have one wife itself, and now Krishna has. So do not even think about all that. This is Narayana. Narayana is absolute supreme consciousness. We can even think of him as Ishvara, who is the Lord of the entire universe of Brahman, who is a supreme truth. If you look at him like that, then he is there pervading in every person, everything, every part of the universe there, every part of our thought, our consciousness, everywhere Krishna is there. And we are all the combinations there. I might be having more of fire and less of earth. You might be having less of water and more of wind. So it is all different combinations we are. But and if we realize this, if we are able to see this real inner voice, inner self of Krishna, then how wonderful it is, right? Gopika saw that. That's how they are the true bhaktas of Krishna. So now we are shifting to Naraka Surah. This Naraka Surah, he was actually the son of Bhumi Devi. Okay. And he was creating so much of disturbance to Indra. What did he do? He goes and steals the earrings of Mother Aditi, who was a mother of Indra. He steals that. He steals the umbrella of Varuna, and he goes back to his kingdom. His kingdom is so much, it's like fortified, filled with so many different things where no enemy can go. I think his kingdom name is Pragjyotisha. Yes, Pragjyotisha. And this Narakasura has a boon that he can be killed by none other than only his mother can kill him. That's all. Who's his mother? I told you, Bhumi Devi, right? So, and Narakasura has captured so many women, because he has gone and fought with kings and nagas and everyone, yakshas and everyone, and have captured 16,100 women and kept them captive. And Krishna immediately, Krishna has come to know, because through his mind he has come to know the pleas of these, the requests of these women, these maidens who are crying for Krishna. Say, Narayana, you are there to help. Narayana, you are there. See Rukhmani also, how she prays, right? See Rukhmani, what does she tell him? You take me away. It's like, see, that is where this is all. Every spiritual seeker has to remember that. Do not think that you are alone. Do not think that, oh, I am already stuck in this swamp. What can I do? I cannot come out. It's like Gajendra. Remember Gajendra Moksha story, right? He's stuck there. The crocodile is catching him. Even at that time, he thinks of Vishnu. He thinks of Narayana, and Narayana comes there and saves him, right? That's what Rukhmani, she's there at that place, stuck there, and Narayana comes there. So these maidens are also stuck there, and they're all surrendered completely, thinking of Narayana, you are only there, we are your only refuge, we surrender completely. And these devatas all go to Krishna. You are the only person who can save us. Krishna immediately gets all alert. Immediately he calls Garuda. See, Krishna's avatar, he is like a Purna avatar. Every time he shows his divinity, he is not like Rama avatar where he is completely like human, behaves like human, and as a human he kills the Rakshasa Ravana. Here Krishna shows his divinity every now and then in the Dwapara Yuga. And that is where here he calls Garuda. And whom does he call here? You know who is the incarnation of Bhumi Devis? Right, Satyabama. He calls Satyabama, makes her sit next to him, and then both Satyabama, Krishna, Garuda, imagine the beautiful scene, right? And they fly to Pragjyotisha. And you know, so many obstacles are there, and Krishna using his Gada, his Sudarshana Chakra, his arrows, he kills everything. All the deadly asuras there were there. Even the water, air, fire, there was fire surrounding the entire Pragjyotisha, and using his Sudarshana, he immediately cuts all of that. His Gada cuts the mountains, and he using his arrows kills all the asuras. Even the Murasura, who has 5 heads, he kills the heads one by one and kills Murasura. And finally he goes to the palace where Naraka Surah is there, and Naraka Surah comes out with his army of elephants. And you know, these elephants, they're all in the family of Airavata. You know, Airavata, he is a Vahana of Indra. And that time there were about so many elephants who could fly. That itself, there is another story of Menaka elephants and all that. And all these elephants have been captured by Narakasura. And imagine Narakasura and the horde of elephants, they're all walking there to fight with Krishna Bhagwan. And Krishna, Satyabama, all of them together. And Narakasura there uses one arrow after the other. He decides, okay, let me kill the vehicle. It's like some James Bond movie, you know. First they will decide, okay, we will do puncture of the car. So the Vahana is gone, then the person inside also will be damaged, right? So this is what Narakasura does. He tries to put lots of weapons, hurl lots of weapons on Garuda. Do you think Garuda will have any damage? Array, not even one single hurt will come to Garuda. That was a mighty strength of Garuda. Why? Because Krishna is sitting on top of him. Such was his devotion to Narayana. And nothing happened. Now Narakasura finally starts fighting with Krishna. And who can defeat Krishna? Correct. Krishna is absolutely. So Krishna, using his Sudarshana Chakra, completely, immediately cuts the head of Narakasura. And immediately Bhumi Devi comes there and hands over the earrings and the umbrella to Narayana. So Satyabama was there all with him together. Together is how Narakasura was killed. You know Narakasura's bone, right? Some stories they said Satyabama killed. Some stories said Krishna killed. For us what? Narakasura was killed. You know, that is what we have this before Diwali everyone celebrates, right? Naraka Chaturdashi. This is what it is, the killing of the evil. So they have snanam, oil snanam, and then they pray to Krishna, they pray to Narayana. So all of you should be able to follow this tradition. So Krishna children, you should ensure that these traditions are followed. Beautiful traditions are, everything has a purpose. So do not say, I don't have time. You have time to go there and here. There is time for thinking about Narayana also, isn't it? So this is how, and Satyabama and Krishna returns these earrings and earrings and this umbrella back to Indra. Indra was very, very grateful, but Satyabama looks at a Parijata tree there, beautiful heavenly tree, and she says that I want this Krishna, I want this in Dwaraka, I want it in my palace. At that time Indra said, he is like a spoilt child, said, no, I cannot give you. Krishna is asking, give me. That time Indra, see again, he also gets clouded. Before he was begging Krishna, please save me from Narakasura, and now he says, no, I can't give. This is Parijata, this is heavenly tree. It can't go to the earth. And again Krishna had to fight with Indra to get the Parijata tree. So even the Devas also get clouded. So that is why Krishna always says, so our mind has to be so pure that we should not, that the asuric qualities in us, that greed, jealousy, madam, all this matsarya, jealousy, greed, everything also should be dissolved. even the noble qualities also should be dissolved. Why? Because we start thinking very much great about ourselves. Look how I am so great in giving lectures about Krishna. Look, I am having like this. Look, I am doing like this. I am doing so much of punya. I am doing good actions here. So the ego starts, and then again we lose the track of Krishna. So that is why Krishna always says that transcend beyond these gunas, transcend beyond these asuric qualities and these noble qualities, and just think only about me. So you don't need to read the Shastras, you don't need to read the Upanishads, anything, just thinking about Bhagavan himself, all the thoughts on him itself would absolutely help you to purify your heart. And now this Narada, last thing I want to say, I am 7:15, I'll just take 5 more minutes. Okay, so this Narada now knows that Krishna is having 16,100. Again I told you 16,108 wives. How is this Krishna able to manage? Let us not get caught in all this. You should be able to think that the manifestation of Krishna, and it seems in Treta Yuga there were so many devotees who were eager to have him, to see him, to have him as their Lord. And that is why, to satisfy their desire, Krishna has taken refuge of all these 16,100 the women who were all captured in Naraka Surah, and he gave them refuge. He accepted them as their own. Because imagine, they were all been in this place for so many years. Will society accept them? So this is a place where Krishna is giving a subtle lesson to all of us. How we need to accept everyone, how we need to treat women, how we need to take to help anyone who is in trouble, to take them under a refuge and take care of them. And that is what Krishna did. He took all of these women back to Dwaraka and had 16,108 palaces created for them, and became a householder, became a brother, became a wife, became a father. And that was where the manifestation of Krishna as Narayana was there completely in so many forms. And that is what, can you imagine, he being there in every person. And this is where Narada got a doubt. Hey, people are not able to manage one wife, and how is Krishna able to be there for 16,000 wives there? I can't understand. So it's like, it is like so many butterflies in a tree. Can you imagine that? So I would say I'm just thinking it's like so many butterflies. So Narada goes. So he said, okay, I'm going to check how is Krishna doing. Okay, so he goes to one palace, and Krishna immediately receives him, washes his feet, takes care of him, how are you, Narada? How are you doing? Gives him food and everything. Narada is all stunned. I said, okay, thank you. Then he comes out, he goes to another palace, Jambavati's palace. There also he is seeing Krishna. Krishna again receives Narada, washes his feet. He said, how are you, Narada? How are you? Everything, are you okay? Kushalama? All that he starts saying. Again he comes out, he's already stunned. Comes out, another palace he goes. Now he goes to every palace. Every palace, Krishna is there. Everyone, Krishna is either gone for a bath, he's either being there as a householder, he's there taking care of, he's there meditating, he's worshipping, he's talking with his people, he's talking with some Yadavas, he's gone to the Sudharma hall, talking there to the Raja, to Balarama. There he's somewhere talking with Balarama, and there he saw Krishna everywhere. At one time, Krishna was having the manifestation everywhere. And Narada understood. See, I have doubted Krishna himself. And look at Krishna. Everywhere he is there. Everywhere. And that was how Krishna, as a householder, how Krishna Rukhmani was saying, as a householder, Krishna used to follow all the things which is required for a householder, taking care of his children, taking care of his own self, sitting and praying, reading the scriptures, doing the prarthana, everything he used to take care, Sandhya Vandana, everything, all these things as required. And what was he telling us? Giving us an example that this is how we need to live, and this is how we need to be there. And Narada immediately understood the greatness of Narayana. the manifestation of Narayana everywhere, Ishvara, Parabrahman, oh Brahman there everywhere, Krishna is there in the entire universe, entire place is there as every consciousness, just like the Gopikas were thinking about him, na? They, for them, in the Rasa Leela, when they were dancing, Krishna was next to them. Krishna was between two people. Krishna was there between three people. It was like, in the Upanishad they say, that in every thought, imagine that Krishna is there. So for you, if you think like that, whatever thoughts are coming into you, whatever things are coming into you, into your mind, think that Krishna is there. Only thing is, we have to listen to the inner voice of Krishna. But how are we behaving? Sometimes we behave as Bhima, all angry like this. Sometimes we behave like Yudhishthira, very, very sometimes conditioned. This is how we have to do. No, like this. Sometimes we behave like Akrura, completely carried away. Sometimes we behave like Kritavarma, who is ready to kill just for getting a lady, a beautiful lady. So this is how some of us all get carried away. And instead of saying that he got carried away, she got carried away, let us introspect ourselves how we are. And when we are introspecting ourselves, all of you children, all of you adults, when now listening to the glories of Krishna today, Krishna, who everyone was ready to even blame him. See how readily we also blame others. See, the moment you blame others, think that you are blaming Krishna. You are blaming another complete Brahman there, you are blaming another person. Instead of that, when you are thinking jealous of that person, when you are thinking bad about that person, when you are saying good it happened to him, he deserved it, it was worth it. When you start thinking like that, see how your thoughts are and how your children are listening to your thoughts, how your children are looking at what you are saying. All this plays such an important role model for us. And what is the role model for us? Krishna and Rama, who have lived in this world in their avatars, have showed us how we can live with absolute dharmic mind, how we can enliven ourselves and enliven others. What is dharma there? What is the dharmic path of action? All of you children will be understanding, okay, dharma means righteousness. Simple word, just in dictionary, dharma means righteousness. But I would say, I remembered one teacher telling me that, Prabha, what is dharmic action? Dharmic action is one who also enlivens yourself on, and whatever actions you do, whatever thoughts you do, whatever act you do, you're also enlivening others. So whatever you do, first step back and think, am I doing only for myself? Or in the action what I do, am I also enlivening others also? If there is no conscience prick, then there is peace of mind. When there is peace of mind, Krishna is with you, then you are taking the path of dharma. That is how I remember my teacher telling me that, and that is what I want to share you all. So let's all close our eyes and be immersed in the glory of Narayana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's all pray for the divine grace of Narayana. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Blink open your eyes. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow for another story. The arrogant doorkeepers, Jaya Vijaya story. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Shishupala, Dantavakra, all of them are going to come tomorrow. So don't forget to join tomorrow and log in. See you all. Please share your stories to others. You can share to everyone. Narrate them. When you narrate, you also sing the glories of Narayana. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.